Greetings everyone, thank you for coming and watching another video on this YouTube channel. Today you can see I don't have the green screen or anything because I have something that I wanted to show you. As you know, I have been pretty much a good follower of QNAP for a long time, follower plus user of QNAP for a long time. Recently my the old QNAP that I had, well, it failed the motherboard, and I think after really good 8-9 years working 24/7 in perhaps not the best conditions, because I had it, on the loft, and it has been warm during summer, like really warm, and it has been probably really cold during the winter. So it has been absolutely a superb experience over there. So when that died, I just went ahead and of course contact QNAP for to get in the most up-to-date models and to make an informed decision. So because I moved from well, before I didn't have a mini rack, but then for a few years now I had a mini rack already at home, so I decided like the small factor format, the cubes themselves, they didn't make sense anymore for me, because I could just maximize the space of the 19 inch rack unit with maybe 1U QNAP. So I've been asking around, and at the end I decided to go with the model, with this model that I have just here. I'll show you in a minute. So with the model TS435XEU. So I have it over here. I'm going to quickly show it to you. So there you go. This is the model, and let me talk to you regarding this this unit. Why do I like this this unit? First of all, well, it's 1U, as you know. It has four hard drives units for 3.5 inches, which is perfect because I still have old discs with a lot of capacity, like 4 terabytes each or something like that. That they are this size, and they're quite slow, but anyways, I just have there my ISOs and other backups that I tend to put into my QNAP. So that is the first thing. It's in 1U. It's sort of like a mini. It's kind of short, as you can see. So it's 19 inches, but this is not one of those 19 inches which is really long, right? With a long depth. Not at all. It's just kind of like half of that, and it's really lightweight, I'll say, for what it is. So you can see I'm holding it here, and I don't know how much weight it is. Like right now it does not have any discs, but I'll say that it is quite light. I'm surprised. Second thing, this specific unit, it does accept 2 NVMEs. Two NVMEs SSDs to M.2 2280. So in the case that you want to maximize the capacity of the disks that you are going to put, you can always install those 2 NVMEs to do SSD caching, or any other technology that QNAP has, it depending on what operating system you choose. But well, anyways, you can maximize that the speed of the unit, trying to making it more for production, to run production VMs, not just as a backup, but as well to run a few production VMs from VMware stored into this unit, especially with those SSD caching, right? So I like that as well. I have not opened it just yet inside to see the space that I have, because I usually like to add heat sinks on these NVMEs. I don't like to put them raw over there. So I'll try to find out if a heat sink it can fit over here. I guess yes. Another thing that I absolutely love is to have 2 USBs over here, 3.0 over here, and then 2 more, which they are 2.0 in the case that you want to add some extra capacity and so on. another interesting thing, it's 2 ports. These 2 ports are 1 gig or 2.5 gig each of them. So in the case that you have like a more modern network, let me put it like that, more modern network, you will be able to use those as well. And what it's absolutely fantastic for me, because I do have 10 gig on my environment on the lab. It is these 2 ports, these 2 SFP ports over here, so 1 and 2, and you can see that you can either connect the 10 gigabyte Ethernet or just use the normal fiber and so on. So I mean, on one unit to have to maximize this, perhaps I just need even to use one because I don't think I will be able to maximize the speed of the unit even with the 2 NVMEs doing SSD caching. I doubt that I will use more than one 10 gig connectivity over here, and even if I add the 2.5 as well, you know, beyond the 10 gig, this unit is absolutely perfect for my needs, which is a small, I'll say like all-in-one, right? I wanted to store some VMs, production VMs, that they might not be as critical, I'll say, but I want them to run nicely. I want them to run quick. So this is the NVMe caching. It will be perfect. The 10 gig is going to be absolutely fantastic. At the same time, I wanted as well to store some backups on some of the other disks, right? So I might have like 1 or 2 for my ISOs and my this production VMs. Perhaps not the operating system, just the data partition. I'll see. But on the other 2 disks, I usually enjoy adding presenting those through iSCSI to other Vim components, you know, their backup components, so I can store the data over there, and even perhaps enable, of course, the QNAP objects, the S3 that the unit has by default. So I can now on Vim v12, I can just do backup to direct object storage, which is going to be object storage on-prem. So again, this unit on 1U, being able to put production VMs, being able to leverage 2.5 gig, 10 gig, and use it as well with the object storage on this 1U size. For me, it's absolutely perfect. The last thing I didn't mention, it's that the memory capacity. So it came with just one memory slot, so you cannot add another one. It just needs to be one. It does support. It comes with a one. I think it came with 4 gigabytes, if I'm not mistaken, memory RAM. I have not turned it on just yet, and you can always expand it up to 32 gigabytes of RAM. I guess if we are going to enable the duplication, or if we are going to do more heavy, well, the SSD caching, depending on how much capacity for the SSD caching you want to do, you need to look into the QNAP website to size it properly. If it came with the 4 gigabytes, I hope I'll just put it up and see how it goes. But I guess my next thing after recording the video, it will be ordering the 32 gigabytes RAM module and the 2 NVMEs with the heat sinks to maximize this unit, you know, as it should be. And perhaps I'm going to start with 1 10 gig connectivity, so I can connect that to the switch, and from there I will have connectivity for you know, from the host directly to the unit. Really exciting. I mean, this is just absolutely great unit. I will put it up. I'm going to start configuring services, and I will let you know how it goes. So the first thing we can do is use the QNAP Q Finder to find our new NAS, or well, in this case, because I plugged my old drives, it found the old host name, and I guess all the data it should be there, right? In your case, if you just plug new disks, you will find it. these are the details. So the server name is the server name that I had before. You can see the adapters here, if they are connected or not connected, the M.2, which I have not plugged just yet, and you can see all my old drives. That's all good, and it's there. Let's update the firmware because it's quite old, the one that I have over there. So I think we can choose quality update or feature update. That's completely up to you. You can see that there are a few different releases. So I am going to choose. I'm just going to choose this one. And if I go to the website, you will see that it's updating it, the firmware. Either you see on the QNAP application or directly from here. You can see how it's going, and it's asking for a reboot. But you could see that as well from the Q Finder. Anyways, so now it's going to stop the applications that the NAS have installed. Perhaps if it's a new NAS, it will have less applications, but because again, it's kind of looking at what I had installed before, I had a few other applications installed there as well. Hopefully this is going to reboot. It's not going to take that much time. One thing that I wanted to mention at the time that I'm doing this recording with the NAS working already, it's that this unit, it's very, very quiet for being an 1U factor that you tend to think that those small fans will be like a jet, like an airplane. It's not. So it's very, very quiet, and I cannot even notice it here. I do not know if it's running or not. So okay, yeah, okay, that's what's new. I have a lot of. This is the first time I put up the NAS, the disks on the new NAS. I have a lot of notifications here. Firmware update, 2 applications that they can be updated. What else? I'm using the default admin for now. Yes. Okay, the playback updates, more updates. The network configuration, it's not because the unit is different. It has different network Ethernet adapters. Okay, yeah, this is kind of like a wizard, I guess. It's helping me to understand all of this, but I know that. Do you want to show me this next time? I'll click yes, past. Now I can see my adapter here. One of the ones that I have connected for now, just the 2.5, and I can see the IP that it took through the DHCP. I'm going to put the old IP that I have for my old QNAP. That's good. Let's add some DNS settings as well, so it can resolve the ESXIs and other servers as well that I have on the network. Okay, yes, perfect. And I guess this change it's already applied. And if I go, what else can we take a look? Some notifications over here regarding storage consumption. I'm going to clear them all, and I will delete some stuff later. So let's take a look at the quick dashboard here. So the server health, it's okay. Just the warning regarding those 2 volumes full. That RPM, you can see there is 1,700 RPM. You cannot really notice them at all. The different adapters, and once again, you can see here the different data volumes and a quick summary, quick overview of what's what. So at least the disks are in a good condition. It's just that I'm just taking too much space, right? What else can we take a look? Yeah, 4 GB of RAM, as you can see over here. That's the CPU as well. That's on quad-core ARM. And inside the disks, you will not see much difference. So it's just these are just my disks. So that's my model, that's my capacity, and that's the temperature that they are at the moment, 30 degrees. I guess 40 degrees, 34. I guess that when they will be on the rack. They will be much fresh. I do not have just yet the M.2, but I will show you later on how to create this the SSD cache. I don't have any backups. I don't have any snapshots either from the volumes. Not at least for now, not with 4 GB of memory RAM, because it's not going to be enough really. With 4 GB, if you try to enable much things, it's going to start complaining about the memory, the RAM memory. So yeah, you can see here, if you click on any of the disks, it's going to tell you some more information. Nothing is happening to the disks in terms of smart or any issue. It is just the consumption inside the different disks. This took some time. Perhaps it's because again I just plugged the disks, but you could see the consumption. I already installed the two M.2 disks, the NVMEs, and I installed as well one of the 10 gig SFP plus. So let's take a look into cache acceleration. I'll show you how to configure it. Nothing difficult whatsoever, but well, I walk you through all the steps. The wizard is quite simple. It's telling you how it's going to work. You can see the 2 units over here. It's very good. It came without any screw or anything. It's just like a plastic piece that you can adapt. It's very, very, very nice. I'm going to select both of them. You can have write 0 or write 1 for this cache, but again, because it is a cache, I know that it should be sort of protected in the case that, especially if you are doing production and you lose something on the cache that it has not been written to the final disk, you will lose data, that data list, that incremental data. So bear in mind that, but I'm going to use just write 0 for my lab, so I can have better performance of read-write, at the cost, of course, that if some of this NVMe fails someday and the data that I'm transferring through the which is still in the cache is going to be lost, so that will lead into VM corruptions, or you have a database could be as well inaccessible, you name it, right? So those are the normal things if a cache fails while it's data in it. At the moment, I'm going to leave it by default. So because I'm going to have VMs in it, meaning presented through iSCSI, I'm going to keep the cache mode at random IO. And for the block size, let's see what it tells us. Okay, so it says that a larger size of block size is going to be better, but it's going to take more space of the cache. I have 1 terabyte, as you have seen, 2 disks of 512 gigabytes together in write 0 is 1 terabyte. So I guess for me, it's going to be sort of okay. I have a lot of garbage on some of the volumes, pictures and other backups of my data that it's important for me, but you know what? It's not important to add a cache acceleration, because I just want it on the volume 2 where I'm going to have VMs presented over iSCSI. So that volume, it's heavy, intensive in IOPS. Plus, later on, you will see me configuring more applications that is going to use that volume. It's telling us once again that it's going to delete all the data on these NVMEs, just on the NVMEs. So please be aware. And it told us well that if you delete this SSD cache, make sure that the SSD cache is empty, is not being used before you do remove that. That cache, right? That SSD cache. Okay, now I think we can take a look into the resource monitor. So let's take a look. CPU usage is very nice. In terms of memory, you could see that I'm already smashing out the 4 gigabytes. I'm already in 3. Nothing on the volume. This activity, good. Yeah, that's good. That's nice. The M2s are already doing activity, and I can see as well the IOPS in the case that I wanted. So that is configured, that is on, the cache acceleration, it's ready. The capacity at the end is 800 gigs and over provisioning with a 10%. So that is okay in RAID 0 and it's ready. I guess I will see more statistics when I'm presenting the iSCSI through VMware, and then I will add VMs there. You could add other volumes in the future if you want, but in my case, again, those other volumes, they are not that important. I cannot see anything from here. If I click in data volume 2, I was expecting to see perhaps some cache or something on the quick dashboarding, but there is no information over here. So well, that's okay, because you could just get that information from the resource monitor anyways. So now I'm going to move to the Ethernet part once again, and you can see that I have my 10 gig, my SFP Plus. I bought it through Amazon, and yeah, it was quite cheap. Not cheap as it was before, but I guess that's what it is. And I'm going to present this 151. That's kind of like my SAN, the SAN range and the SAN IP. I'm going to present that instead of that through the 2.5. I'm going to present it through the 10 gig. And I'm going to connect that into the switch, the Ubiquiti switch later on. So that's going to be 151. And yeah, all the servers, all my ESXIs are going to reach these 151 iSCSI volumes directly through the 10 gig. So I'm really excited. And as I mentioned at the beginning, this is absolute jumbo frames, of course. This is absolutely fantastic to have this NAS with NVMe SSD cache, 4 disks, which can be SSDs or it can be, normal, all big disks, and the 10 gig connectivity, 2 ports of 10 gig. This is just unbelievable for one EU. This is one of the best hardwares that I've seen in a unit. Plus the price, it is very competitive to have that extra 10 gig SFP Plus. Nothing more to show you guys. You have seen everything at the beginning, a quick overview. We saw the first wizard, how to boot up the unit and how to make the initial configuration. Plus, of course, I showed you how to even add the SSD cache and how to configure. Is quite simple, of course, and Ethernet on a 10 gig SFP Plus. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you on the next video about QNAP, which is going to be very soon. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.